maybe a teenager might be listening and they would like to know what is rape or gender-based violence. What's your thought on rape and gender-based violence within our society?
So let's get into the topic. We're done with the personal aspect of the entire show. So let's discuss the issue, rape and gender-based violence.
So basically when we talk about rape, we all know that rape is a forceful penetration against someone will.
Okay.
And basically it happens to a female, because a male cannot be raped or they can be sodomized. Okay. So for a female, if you want to know how you can be raped, is if a man wants to have sex with you, and if he said no, and then you go about doing that, as to you is a rape. Because you forcefully do it without your consent. So we talk about gender-based violence. Gender-based violence is an act, a direct act that is against somebody will. That one like sexual harassment, physical abuse, domestic violence, these are all gender-based violence. So what you need to know is to be educated on these things. Because after the 14 years of civil rights, that we'll find out rape cases and SDV are going to have increase in our society. And now basically most of our youth now are not educated on this issue. So what can we do? We that have little ideas on it. We said it could be a purpose to see how best we can unite and then get around people to see how best we can more than marriage on issue. They need to know and what can they do to prevent ourselves. Because say prevention is better than cure. So once we have knowledge, let's get to them before they reach them and tell them what are they need to know about it. So rape, STDV, our key things is like a widespread in not only in Africa. Yeah, so we have to start engaging. We get on the government to say, oh no, government do it alone. So we as a youth, we are facing how to join the government and serve in work. We look at the history, we talk about the neighbor, we talk about community, decision of the society. So once we start doing all these things for the community, then we can start to be safe as well. So we need to engage this issue before it reaches up.
Yeah. Thank you for putting that.
So under our Liberian laws, having intercourse with a minor is considered a rape. A minor, if you're listening, you don't know what I mean. A minor is somebody below 18. So having sexual intercourse with somebody below 18 is considered rape under our Liberian law, and also having intercourse with someone above 18 without consent is also considered rape. So practically there are further more definitions or different ways that the law describe rape, but these are practically two easy ways that we are able to identify what rape is. And gender-based violence is violence that is executed on a person based on their gender or their sex. And mostly women or females, girls, they are the ones mostly hit by gender-based violence. So most men is my gender, but we sometimes get to a point where we are very much uncompromising. We reach to a point where sometimes what we do is inconceivable. We go about hating on females. People do that to their partners, people do that to their children, and mostly it is done against women. But the conversation has mostly been on women because over time they are the ones who have suffered the most from sexual and gender-based violence. Men forcing their way on a woman, men harassing a woman to do what he wants her to do, even if she doesn't agree. So that's sexual and gender-based violence. So when we're having a conversation, a subject like this, it's important for men to participate because we are the perpetrators of the crime. We are the ones causing the harm.
100%.
So if we can acknowledge that, and if we're brave enough to realize that God created us and He created women so that we can coexist, and we understand that we should work together, and our women should be our partners. So they're not like some properties, but this has a tradition. It has a history from long-standing traditions, especially in the African setting. So, so the subject of sexual and gender-based violence is one that we have to talk about because people have lived with it for years, and they believe that this is the right way to go. But I think we've made some progress because over time we've realized that there are not much cases of men beating on women like it used to be, especially right after the civil crisis. Like almost every time there's a man beating on a woman. Yeah. So I think we've had some reduction, but still there's a lot more to be done. But that's just a general overview on what I think rape with what I think sexual and gender-based violence, what I think both of them are.
All right. I mean, we really we had a female here to discuss the issue. We invited two to balance the equation, but the situation is just the situation. So we are here discussing the issue, the fight against rape and gender-based violence, and you are listening to Vamba Abraham Sirleaf, the host, along with Neeply D, my co-host. And here also accompanied by two outstanding youth that are making so much impact in our various spaces. I have with me Gaius Hassan Cooper, who is the Community Engagement Director for Actions for Justice and Human Rights. Also, I have with me Amuchien D, who is the Executive Director for the Reformational Youth of Liberia, RYL. So, you already laid the basis on rape and gender-based violence. We understand that it can be upon both, but women and girls are the ones most affected by the situation. So we want to know what are some of the causes of rape. Let's start with rape. Then my co-host can ask on the other.
So basically, when we talk about the causes of rape in our society, it has to do with lack of education.
Okay.
And also lack of, let's say, economic stuff like poor infrastructure, and also like person is not that rich. And also looking at the environment and our society like we right now, because the first thing is education. If we have more educated people in our society, definitely there will be that of cases because we don't have ideas on what can they do. And secondly, comes to the economy. When the economy is bad off, or they don't go out, they should get more food to eat, definitely should see others go. Maybe do a hustle work, they then get money for, maybe that guy is a man on our age and then go out because of money and then go out big out, bring the money back and then. So it will be increasing. Like now you see a man get a big chief kind of community and then look at this, look at people.
14, 15 years.
He has money now, but he don't have money because she found, she said, oh man, I let it go. I want to money, she said, okay, yeah. So she said, like I said, baby, go there, go buy me food. Definitely she encouraged me to act. So we shouldn't make our girls vulnerable in the society. So the issue about education, issue about poverty, I think is play a major role in talking about rape cases in Liberia. Once our people are educated and then they can afford things on their own, definitely the cases of rape will be less in our society. Because now if you look at most of the cases, you see a girl age 19 will be on the streets of 11, 12, 7, whatever. I talk about that from the other time. I think it's doing different business because definitely maybe when she go out, it will be her. So you're supposed to be there at that age, at that time selling water, and definitely somebody see her, then you know man, I'm good to be there in charge, man. And you see that lady, you say, but let me put in my car, get home. And definitely you're encouraging it out of rape. So once if our government come out, also measures we can get people educating community leaders, community dwellers on how can they go ahead to work prevent rape, then we can point that going improve. And also the issue of empowerment. We can empower people. Youth empowerment. If the youth are empowered, definitely like bro, the kids will be less up because you have people will get all the money they can say basically do things.
Sure.
But once you are vulnerable, definitely will be like your mouth will be open and you will see your guy in the community vulnerable so get passing the car, they get in the corner and then try to molest or go ahead report. But once you have job opportunity, you have like maybe people doing other schools like educational school, learning trade, you got the money basically with other activities.
They all help to reduce the idle rate.
Yes.
Alright. So Amuchi, what do you think can be the reasons people go about doing such acts?
Well, rape has so many reasons, and sometimes if you want to sit down and carefully analyze why people rape, it becomes a bit difficult because you realize that even in developed world, in the developed societies, where the people have economic prosperity, they have job opportunities and all of that. Everything, education, people do sufficient awareness. People still rape. Yeah, like seriously, people still rape. So the subject of rape, the first thing I think it has to do with the tradition. People up to today believe that women are properties. So a man, especially for sexual and gender-based violence, men, they believe that women are properties. Even what I mean, I don't need to. I don't mean to attack anybody or any religion, but look at even the Fula people, right? They marry. That's their tradition. They marry a child 14, 15, 16 years. But on our Liberian law, that's rape.
Yes.
That's rape. But that is their tradition. So the first cause I think is it has to do with the tradition. So if we want to fight against rape and sexual gender-based violence, the first thing we need to start fighting against it is the tradition. And that's one of the reasons why it is really difficult to win the fight. Because people have lived with this tradition for years. I mean, somebody grandparent live with it, pass it on to their parent, and then their parent pass it on to them. All of a sudden, modernization comes in and Fenner Dewey or Amuchien Neeply or Vamba Sirleaf walks to them and tell them this is wrong.
That's it. Well, yeah.
So, I mean, we need to have a second thought on it. In most cases, they don't even want to listen to you. So, we have to be consistent if we actually want to win the war against rape. That's the first reason I think it has to do with tradition. And then besides the traditional aspect, I think it's also demonic. Like, some people, they do rape for rituals. For example, a guy raping somebody who's just 6 months old. I mean, it's not normal. Because somebody may say females, they dress to entice, so that's the reason why people rape. So what becomes of a 6 months old baby? So I think that's demonic, and anybody who's involved in that, they're doing it for some rituals. Probably that person went somewhere to get rich and they were asked that what they need to do is to rape a man and they go ahead doing it. And then, yeah. And another thing is our justice system. The justice system is another reason. So the entire thing about rape is a systematic problem. Yeah. It has a roots in different sectors of the society. You go to the economy, you go to tradition, and just you go to the justice system and everything. So under the justice system, a guy is involved in an act today, he's taken to court, and in no time he's free from the prison. So the guy comes right back in the community and he's free to do what he wants to do. He goes about raping other people. So all of these things, they have different causes. So there's no straight jacket cause for rape to say this is exactly the reason why people are raping. Because rape cases come under different circumstances. So if somebody was raping girls, teenage girls, we say, well, the teenage girls, they are enticing the guys with their dress code. If somebody was raping girls who are poor, and then we say it's economic issues. But there are even girls who are now poor and they have money, yet they're still in relationship with people. They're still in relationship with people who are above age and they're underage. So that's another form of rape. So in short, I think rape has different reasons, different causes. And if we must fight rape, we have to identify those different reasons as reasons, and we tackle them per given situations, given reasons, or given circumstances. Because you cannot use a single format to fight rape. If you provide, in Liberia today, you provide jobs for everybody, people will still rape.
And in contrast, people will still be aware of getting more money to use. Other people who don't have it. So if you look at it from that way, it will still increase. Alright. So I mean, this is just it. This is the youth talk where we call youth leaders, potential leaders, organization leaders. I mean, people who are doing their best out there to come and let's talk about issues affecting the youth of Liberia. And we're really doing well with our section today. We are discussing the fight against rape and gender-based violence. You are listening to the voice of Vamba Abraham Sirleaf, your host, and I'm here with my co-host, Fenner Dewey, proud reformist, and also known as Passionate Now. Alright, so we get into the discussion with the entire gender-based violence stuff, like on the internet and even other search engines, they categorize it into 4. They say either be sexual, physical, psychological, and financial. That is how it is being categorized. So can we split it since we two? Can we take two each and then be able to make our listening audience get the understanding of what do we mean if we say this is a sexual gender-based violence? What do we mean if we say this is a physical gender-based violence? What do we mean if we say this is a psychological gender-based violence? What do we mean if we say this is a financial gender-based violence? I mean, if you can throw light on all four, that would be cool. Or if you have other forms of gender-based violence that you want to throw light on, that is also cool with this show.
Yes, so basically look at sexual and gender-based violence. How to do it, or act a sexual act against somebody. It comes to the sexual aspect. Where in which you have a minor and somebody high going the opposite. You also have maybe two male having or getting sex like sodomization. These are all sexual and gender-based violence. When it comes to the physical abuse, where in which you have a little boy living with NT who is like using over like doing work overtime. The time the child will be sleeping, the time the child will be all out and drinking water, seeing a domestic violence. And then you also have maybe a girl working, you have to get consent, just when they hold to get breast. These are all physical.
Harassment.
Yeah. So there are so many things our male need to know, because in that boy is common, but you want to contribute to this serious. If a guy is working,
it's not for a joke.
Yeah, if a guy is working in the street, like when you see, most of the time you see a guy working in the street, and men point out, working against him, but in other country, you can see that guy forever, like, just promoting people go ahead doing. Because the first thing you are harassing that girl. So once our boss and they are educated will know how to go about it, it comes to the issue of money. We all know money is a blood sugar in our society. So once the men have money or the individual have money, they go about do anything. Because you know money is all evil. Definitely, it can be having a girl who is like looking for money. You know, now our youth did this, also romantic things when high increase, and they were making their money. They use that money to go ahead and then rip up, because now you see all the youth now in the whole iPhone 14, iPhone 13. We should put about education again, and these are things we need to educate them on what the essence of getting quick stuff with then tarnish your future. Because now you see a girl with a small girl now, I always say I'm gonna go back. Not because she won't be or she won't get money. So money, yeah, because money to play a key factor in LGBT, because once the person is poor and somebody get money, they use that money to what? Infringement of rights.
That is the point.
Yes.
Alright, so Amuchien, could you let your light on it? So our calling section as it.
Yeah, I think Gaius has spoken on all four of them already. I just want to weigh in with this point. There's this training video I watched, and the guy asked the girl that he wants her to sleep with his dog. I mean, at first he got so annoyed, like, why are you asking me to sleep with your dog? So at the end of it, the guy said, I mean, I just want you to make my dog happy, but what's your account number? Send me your account. Send me your account details. I mean, it may sound comical, but it's really serious. Send me your account details. So she said, are you serious? You want to send me money? The man said, okay, I want to send you. It happened in Nigeria. I want to send you 500,000. He said, no. The money is small. Okay, 1 million naira. She said, no. And then said, okay, just to sleep with my dog, 3 million. So she said, okay, which one of the banks? So after they had the agreement, she asked the guy where. The guy said, you will do it right in my car. And she entered the car. So when she entered the car, the guy told her, no, get out of my car, go. So why am I bringing this in our conversation? Most of the females today don't take pride in themselves. Most of the females. I mean, it's all about money. It's all about what I get. Yes, it's all about what I get. And not many persons want to follow the proper channel. You see, most people that arrive to where they are the right way, they pass through difficult moments. But a lot of the young people today don't want to pass through difficult moments. So you even want to talk about the ones that get involved in gay, in homosexual acts because they want to get money. So most of the young people, they don't want to pass through the referral channel anymore. You don't want to follow what the system has set up for us. Go to school, start a business, get involved, be consistent, be committed, adapt to failures, and move on. Most people don't want to do that anymore. So low self-esteem, no vision, no commitment to what you want to do, and everybody just doing what they can do at this moment to get what they can get within a short period of time. But at the end of the day, the results are usually disastrous. So I think we really need to be careful. So guys already spoke about the 4 different forms, so I just thought to weigh with this point. That young people, females, males, they have to rethink what you want to do as to the decisions you're making right now. Because if you were to get into a person's car and accept that you will take money to sleep with an animal, then I mean something must be fundamentally wrong with you. Something must be wrong with you. So it's happening. I mean it was on the internet, so we came across it. But there are so many of those same situations that are happening right here in Liberia, in our various communities that we're not aware of. So some of the people involved in those acts might be listening, so it's important that we build up our self-esteem. Because the same person who's going to give you that money to do that act is going to be the same person doing the blackmailing. And some of you will live with emotional trauma and you find it difficult to recover from that particular state of emotional damage. So it's really key to know the kind of decisions you're making, and when you're making those decisions, how those decisions are going to affect you positively.
Alright, so keep listening to the Youth Talk, where we discuss issues affecting the youth of Liberia and even at the international or global level. We will take a short break, and when we get back, we'll move straight into the calling section. We'd like to hear from you, our listeners, our audience. What do you think about the show, and what can you say about the topic on the discussion? The fight against rape and gender-based violence.